fell at free fall speed, and BBC actually reported it as being collapsed 20 minutes before it actually happened. So there's a lot of unanswered questions.
And the official FEMA report on Building 7 says that it was due to the fireproofing and all these other issues. Well, I've talked to the managers who own Prudential Center, and they've done nothing to upgrade their fireproofing on that building, even though we know that jet fuel can bring down buildings now. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, we have video evidence of thermite dripping from the south tower prior to collapse, and we have visuals of door columns cut at 45-degree angles in perfectly straight lines with melted steel around the outsides of them. These were tested under laboratory conditions and found to contain microscopic thermite globules, which are only produced during aluminothermic reactions, which is a military-grade incendiary, which can cut through an engine block of a car in 5 seconds.
And there are multiples of metal in all three basements of the buildings for, what is it, up to a month afterwards?
Yes, the last fire was put out in Ground Zero on December 3rd of 2001. That's 3 months, 12 weeks after the collapse of the buildings, that fires are still burning underground. And as they dug into the the rubble and dug up pieces of the building, they found that 90% of the concrete in the entire structure was turned into pulverized dust, generally on the order of 100 microns in diameter, which is incredibly small. This is completely unexplainable by physics or any other.
There are steel I-beams, I think I've got a photo of it somewhere. There are steel I-beams that are bent in the shape of a U without any cracking or disfiguration, and that could only be explained by some type of explosive device, a force powerful enough to bend a steel I-beam into the shape of a U without any cracks or cuts in it.
Multiple eyewitnesses reported explosions from the building. Willie Rodriguez, who came to the church to speak on behalf, he's the last man pulled out of the World Trade Center alive. I have pictures of him shaking hands with President Bush. And this guy says he heard explosions in the basement before the plane hit. They had another guy they pulled out of the basement who got his face blown off. His name was Felipe David. And Felipe David came out of a coma after 7 days and told the police and investigators the same exact story. So that their stories correlate. Nobody's making stuff up. And a lot of the eyewitnesses are reporting explosives, and the general mass media and the investigators totally ignored it.
This information's left out of the 9/11 Commission.